Hi everybody. Uh yeah, we're gonna just kind of start the direct here. Things weren't working out in the way that I thought they were. But hey, live Nintendo Direct reaction, why not? I am very tired and I hate that they keep doing this to me. It's so I just 7 a.m. Motherfuckers. Don't they know I'm sleeping? Oh, terrible. Terrible. Wait, what they got for this time? What they gonna do to me? Dragon Quest, let's go! Eric's Edric's legacy. Passed down through the ages. So is this 1 and 2? I recall 1 and 2 that they're gonna like come out with that, right? And like I would like to play those. It's fun. So it's 1 and 2, right? I definitely want to see what they do with 2 because like I definitely think 2 is the weakest of the bunch, like of all of Dragon Quest. And like I played it before and this looks new. It does. I'm liking it. I'm liking what I'm seeing. A lot of this stuff feels very, very new. And that should be 1. Yeah, that's just full out 1. Let's go. We love to see it, baby. Oh, she's a little cute. Who is she? Okay. That's a new character. That's a new character. What? Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll take it, baby. Let's go. I do love me some Dragon Quest 1 and 2. And honestly, probably will play it. What the fuck do you want from me? Just Nintendo Switch games? No Nintendo Switch 2? Okay. I missed that. Fair enough. I did not know. Yeah, they look really good. 2, I gotta tell you right now, has a bunch of new content. I know it does. Yeah, that's a new character entirely. That's entirely new character. These are all different scenes and everything. I'm very confused why that is. But if there's any Dragon Quest that needs it, it's 2. But no hope. No sadness. Is all power.
2 minutes until oxygen 0.
I do not like it when scary game. Whoa! Let's go! Let's go! Yo! It's Konami Dante, let's go! Yes. This is so hype. Iris. Zero Escape? Zero Escape meets AI to some minion files? Hey yo! Hey yo! Let's go! This is already hype. Is this like a VR thing? Who is that new character? That's a new character. Ooh. That's cool. Let's go. Let's go! You have no idea. So hype. So hype. Let's go. July 25th. That's not too far away. Let's go. Let's go, baby. That's what I need to like wake me up is AI summoning file. Detective? So, Shipping on my Tensei 5. The Squeakquel?
A classic Atlas action RPG returns with remastered HD graphics and enhanced gameplay.
The Mystery of the Soulless Army? What? That was the thing?
scientist detective. But unbeknownst to
I-
others, he also fights alongside demons as a devil summoner. To protect
Is this
the
devil
town,
summon?
Rhino must investigate a series of supernatural cases.
Yeah, I feel like I should know this, but I don't.
Summon.
Zortai.
Strike an enemy's
This is fucking a roguelike mystery dungeon shit. It's 100% Pokemon Mystery Divers. Mystery Dungeon, but like, that's
demons can also be useful
what it looks like!
and their power
Cat. I like how there's just cat.
investigations. Guide Rido through a series of strange incidents. I assume you're the bird who gave us a call? As he uncovers
That definitely seems really interesting. They're picking up with a lot of really neat ones, I'm gonna be honest.
the mystery of the Soulless Army launches on Nintendo Switch.
Very, very interesting.
Pre-orders begin later today on Nintendo eShop.
Rido. Already, okay. Well, June 19th, that's close.
With your memories gone, you have been summoned to a strange, unfamiliar world.
Shadow Labyrinth.
By a yellow orb known as Puck.
Pac-Man?
Who is this fierce
Pac-Man's the bad guy?
battle for survival?
What the fuck? Are they seriously vocifying Pac-Man? Oh my god.
Expansive world.
That's pretty cool. I like how there's little Pac-Man following us.
You can phase shift and complete
They did do this with
more areas.
like one of the game thingies and whatnot. It's lit. You see?
The creatures inhabiting
I do like this. This looks cool as fuck, dude. I don't know. Give me a Metroidvania with like some little cutesy like
temporarily
trickeries. And I'll be kind of in love. It looks really cool. I'm gonna be honest, fam. What the heck? What the hecky? Mid-air dodge. Let's go.
work to uncover Puck's true goal.
Yep. Yep. Pac-Man's the bag. I guarantee you they're gonna have that as the ending bit. And honestly, I'm gonna love every bit of it because Adam Sandler was right all along.
The rhythmic march begins.
Pun pun butter pun. Pun pun butter pun. I think I have like the second one. No, I have the first one over here somewhere. This is where I have my PSP games. Patapon is good. Is a good game. I just have not played it because Patapon. Patapon. Patapon.
Has
Patapon.
them attack.
These are all words I assure you.
And if you string together
Chaka 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 patapon. 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 I do have to wonder, does Sony really care about their IPs? Because it certainly doesn't seem like it. Like, they don't... They own Patapon. So I'm like, is Sony, like, going to
advance to the beat of your own drum.
Nintendo stuff?
Pawns and Mario. Patapon 1+2 replay launches on
It does look good. I 100% say if you never played Patapon at all, play it. Get this one.
Welcome to Zephyr Town.
Fantasy Star? Fantasy Life?
Place nestled in a windswept valley.
Stories of Season?
This is where your new life begins.
This is like Story of Season. Hey, I called it. I called it. You called. Me called? Me called? Me called? Me called.
This immersive farming and life sim has no shortage of activities to get up to.
Easily the best farming sim. I'm gonna be real.
Tend to your farm.
I'm sure Stardew Valley is a certain kind of love to it and whatnot, but like, I don't know. I find Story of Seasons to be far more charming and cutesy. Although I will admit that Story of Seasons probably isn't as
Gain its former splendor.
it's not as wokeified as Stardew Valley, and I wish it was.
And
It's really cutesy.
relationship.
Mm.
Find that special someone.
Come on, show gay. Gay. Gay, 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 gay.
Taking advantage of Zephyr Town's
Not great.
windy conditions can make travel and other tasks.
Because if there's anything that's gonna be like super de-doper woke, it's gonna be farm games. I don't know why, it just is.
Your new life on the farm begins when Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar launches on the Nintendo Switch.
Have they never done a bazaar for the Story of Seasons games? My understanding. Probably should play more.
The latest entry in the Story of Seasons series.
Also, this was originally Harvest Moon, if y'all didn't know. Like, what the fuck is Lost talking about? This is Harvest Moon. It's weird licensing deals. Capitalism bad. What else do you want me to say? I was gonna say Metroid. I really should have. I should have said Metroid. This looks so good. It looks so pretty. Ain't no way the goat is not. I like how they just kind of like bring it out here as part of like the thing, as if it doesn't deserve its flowers. Oh fuck. Oh my god. I'm gonna fucking come. I'm gonna come. I'm gonna cream. I'm gonna. Look at it. It's so pretty. Can't tell me otherwise. Ain't no way they going after the goat like this. Ain't no way. Looks so good. Why do they gotta say it like that? She gotta scan things. That's her main objective, is to scan things. This is not her main objective in any of them. Is that like the X virus? I had no idea why I'm such fascinated with Metroid the way that I am, because like, in all honesty, probably should be a lot more scared of the things that pop up. But me not. I don't know. Psychic, let's go. Understand that Samus is legitimately one of the strongest characters in all of Nintendo, if not gaming. She don't need to have fucking psychic powers. Holy fucking shit, dude. You can't do this to me. Like, I think Bayonetta and like Kirby are higher than her in terms of things, honestly. Is that the Inu? Like, I want to connect this to a whole bunch of Metroid. It definitely seems like it's more connected to Metroid Prime 2, which is wild. Because Metroid Prime 2 is specifically not. Kind of wild. Where is Stylix? No Stylix? Coming in 2025? Yeah, the Metroid. Okay, okay. Is that Skylix? Is Skylix? Oh, she looks like she fucks in that suit. Let's go! That looks so good.
Looks like even more challenges await Samus. We hope
Why is Samus so pretty? I love her so much.
okay,
It's rude.
let's move on to some more headlines.
It's rude. It's rude.
Ready to stir up some mischief?
Mischief makers? No.
Once upon a time, there was a drab coffee shop that transformed into a magical potion cafe. As
Disney Villains Cursed Cafe? I'll say.
concoctions for Disney villains and get to know them in a new light.
That is.
Ingredients to brew all sorts of strange
They wokeified Disney villains.
them to your villainous visitors, including Ursula.
It's here. It's here.
Help Yzma. You can upgrade your
They wokeified it. I'm shocked.
creations. The potions you make can influence each customer's storylines, leading to different outcomes.
I just don't. I'm so befoozed.
Mischief might happen. Disney Villains Cursed Cafe.
Cursed Cafe.
Switch later today.
Alright.
Summon a spellbinding adventure.
Oh, that's pretty. What does it remind me of?
Witchbrook College.
It reminds me of Stardew Valley.
To master the magical arts.
Cuttlefish. Did they make Stardew Valley? Like, literally. Like,
Perform rituals.
I have to wonder.
Fly on brooms.
I need to know.
Go from witch in training to skilled spellcaster.
Cuttlefish.
Do outside of class. Hang out with friends at their homes.
Cute.
Take on various jobs to help pay for tuition.
No, but well, maybe the British video game developer. Terrible.
To craft and sell
Cuttlefish or Cuttlefish? I don't know. Maybe
up to 4 players can make magic together in online co-op.
online co-op.
Explore this whimsical world on the road to
It looks neat, at least.
beyond.
I could appreciate a good,
You
little funny game,
journey.
especially if it's like a Witch Academy situation.
Enrollment begins when Witchbrook flies onto Nintendo
Witchbrook.
Switch this holiday. Action, adventure, games await.
Arcade.
On a fantastical mission to eliminate a mysterious deity. In this hand-drawn platforming adventure, you'll explore an expansive archipelago where nightmares and wonder collide.
Neat.
Upgrade your trusty cane with magical
This is
parts
just an old dude that's there?
to find
It's
your
fucking Scrooge McDuck and shit.
Can you uncover the secrets the archipelago holds? Find out when The Eternal Life of Goldman launches on Nintendo Switch this holiday.
Wild.
Celebrate the 40th
Radius!
Gradius with
Radius, let's go!
games from across the series.
We love to see Origin Collection shit.
Salamander,
I don't think I've ever played any Gradius game, I'm gonna be real.
Gradius 2,
But that doesn't mean I'm not hyped for it. I don't know, it just, there's something about it that, like, you give me a bunch of games at once and I'm just like, you know?
from different regions,
That's me.
launch years. Plus, take the helm in a brand new entry,
Salamander 3!
Gradius
Looks neat and interesting.
launches on the Nintendo
I've been really getting into shmups too, so I might just get it for the sake of fact that, like,
Wii Shop.
later today, let's go?
To the beat in Rift of the Necrodancer.
I'm never gonna understand Crypto Necromancer, and I don't know what will make me understand it. I'm gonna be honest.
Going with epic boss
I could trust it enough to be like, I'm sure it's good.
global leaderboard.
But at the same time,
More musical mayhem.
there are two wolves inside me. One that wants to actually give it a proper try, and the other that just wants to be over with it.
Of the Necrodancer launches on Nintendo.
Like, it looks like so many cool things, you know? Like Guitar Hero and, like,
Let's see
fucking
what's in store.
Punch-Out shit. Tamagotchi?
Welcome to Tamagotchi Plaza, a
They made Tamagotchi.
connection series.
A Hello Kitty-like.
Galore.
I don't know how. They did it, though. Cute! That is too cute! No! You
And
can't do this to me!
afternoon tea shop.
It's tea shop.
Stores need your help. Provide good customer service to get high ratings and upgrade each shop.
Okay, I kind of fucks with style savvy type of gameplay.
Making
Because I really want to play it. I need to actually, like, properly, like, play those games.
classic
I have at least 2, I think?
booming.
One physical and one non.
Set up shop when Tamagotchi Plaza launches on Nintendo.
It looks really cutesy. That
27.
Tamagotchi, I'm glad, is surviving as a brand because, like, damn, if that not was would have fed. What is this? Footage from under development stuff. Are they gonna show us new megas? Are they gonna show us new EVs? Like, show me something good. Josh, no.
Welcome to Pokemon Legends ZA, a new title in the Pokemon series.
I guess Nintendo technically hasn't announced it on their things.
Partner
Which I know sounds weird, but that is just the weird thing about Pokemon technically not being a part of the company.
Pokemon X and Pokemon Y games. Lumio City. To make it easier for people and Pokemon to coexist, a company named Quasartico Inc. is carrying out an urban redevelopment plan. Here, we'll get a glimpse into the lives of the Pokemon.
Dystopian future where the company is trying to like take over the city. Like that was their mistake.
Scattered all over town are wild zones. These
Wild zones. I'll show you some wild zones.
wild Pokemon can live comfortably, even within the city.
Do
Pokemon here.
get that bitch. It's like, oh god.
Might be hostile. If you sense trouble, get to safety. There are Pokemon that live outside wild zones too.
That's pretty cool. I always do love the fact that they actually made the Pokemon more habitable.
Found
Like they do little habitation quirks. It's so cute. I love it a lot.
people and Pokemon live
Pokemon is a super neat and interesting franchise that continues to grow on itself, and it's great.
when night falls. The city's aura transforms.
It's aura farming.
Invited to
It becomes the soul leveler.
Royale. Trainers await in the battle.
What? What the hell is this shit? It's literally like a tournament arc. Let's go, baby. This is so dumb. I love it. Totodile, get out of there! Get out of there, Totodile!
Before being seen, and you'll land a surprise attack.
Oh, damn.
Using a super effective move at the right moment is key.
Poor Barkles.
And with Mega Evolution, some Pokemon can power up.
Here's Alakazam. Are we gonna get a new one? No, Gardevoir.
Start at rank Z and work your way
Makes me
up to
sad.
rank A.
Oh, neat. That's cool.
Who reach
Literally is the soul lover, though.
granted.
Literally aura farming.
Day and night are two sides to Lumio City. It seems there are even
Clearly.
more secrets waiting to be uncovered.
Like Doggo. And other Doggo.
Pokemon Legends ZA.
Later? In 2025? God damn. That is way too soon.
In Lumio City,
For me,
where the game is set,
I have not played Pokemon Arceus at all.
day and night,
I probably should.
secrets to uncover. Please be on the lookout for more information in the future.
That's gonna be a bit.
Next, please take a look at this.
What am I taking a look at?
Hello there.
Do them have it?
The game you're about to see doesn't have a big, epic story.
Tamagotchi? Oh, not Tamagotchi.
What it does have is lots of funny little
Miitomo?
you wanna see.
Is this Miitomo?
Just press the button
This
to
is-
enter the ring.
Looks like Rhythm Heaven. Is Rhythm Heaven back? Please. Please be the case. It might be a mix between the two.
Easy.
But it's not. It's not easy.
Timing is super tricky. Maybe you could try it in time to a rhythm.
Alright. This has gotta be Rhythm Heaven.
In this game, you might do almost anything, but you'll need to do it in rhythm.
Ah-ee-ah-ooh-oh! Ah-ee-ah-ooh-oh!
You might even be able to play it with your eyes closed.
That is the reason why I love Rhythm Heaven so much, because blind people can play it, and honestly, that's the coolest fucking thing ever. This better be Rhythm Heaven, I swear. It looks like it, all the characters.
New entry in the
God damn, she got the booty. Let's go.
Rhythm Heaven.
Yeah, let's go, Rhythm Heaven Grove! I'm so happy. I thought this franchise was dead.
That was Rhythm Heaven.
I'm so glad. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know. You don't even know. Don't even know.
Music produced by
I
renowned
like it. It's cutesy. It's so cutesy. Rhythm Heaven's so fun.
you'll hear. We hope you're looking forward to it.
Hey. You biceps.
Next, we have news about the
So far, this has been an amazing direct. Honestly, just straight up one of the best directs I've seen in a while. Like nothing but bangers, honestly.
With game cards, you can put a game featuring Mario in this Nintendo Switch system.
Yeah,
And a Legend of Zelda game in this one.
yeah.
Freely inserting the games you have on hand into any system you want.
And what?
But what if digital games could be as flexible and convenient as game cards? Well, here's what we came up with. Introducing the Virtual Game Card. In the future, virtual game cards can be used for digital games.
What?
When purchasing the digital version of a game, it will be loaded onto your system as a virtual game card, allowing you to play that title.
Okay.
Your digital games will be lined up as virtual game cards on a dedicated management screen.
What?
Here, you can load and eject your virtual game cards and manage which games you can play on your system.
Are they seriously talking about like what should have been a day one feature? Something that the PlayStation and Xbox both have?
Nintendo Switch systems, you can eject a virtual game card from one and load it onto the second. Now you can play this game on the second system wherever and whenever you want, just as if you had inserted a physical game card. With virtual game cards, you can freely load and arrange which games you play on up to 2 systems.
They literally brought game sharing. They brought game sharing
Only the first time.
to Nintendo Switch when it's gonna die. They brought game sharing.
Cards to your Nintendo account family group members.
Oh damn.
Connect to
Oh fuck. Oh fucking damn. That is cool as hell.
the title you're lending. And who
You could lend it to a family member? Oh, actually based. You're allowed to just do that. That's cool as hell. That is so cool.
to a particular
That's actual like proper consumer rights shit.
after which they will automatically return to you.
That's fine, honestly. To rent a game from a friend, honestly, really cool. Oh my god, I'm gonna actually start buying digital. Why am I saying?
The virtual game card feature lets you swap
It's good though. That is such a good thing.
as well as to Nintendo.
That is so cool. Holy majebo.
Is planned to be
They did game sharing and were like, oh yeah, people probably want to game share this. Let's just make it a feature.
more Nintendo Switch games.
And honestly, I can't express enough just how nice and delightful that is. It's just delightful. I'm shook. I'm shook how good this was. I don't like that game. Bleh. What is that? Like, Dear Villagers Star Overdrive. Player. And then, ooh, a Wandering Village. That looks cutesy. We're on top of a dinosaur. That's pretty. Glow Mage, King of Meat. This looks like a Jump Fest situation. Megabit Publishing Lose Lagoon. Neat. They're obviously gonna like end it off on one big thing, right? Like they're gonna do that, right? Right?
Uncover history once more.
With
An HD remaster of Saga Frontier 2 is
Okay.
to Nintendo Switch. Meet Gustav, the royal
that's kind of neat.
the explorer.
I've never played the Saga Frontier games, but neat. This is a neat thing.
Across generations.
Mother.
PG.
I like how it has like the PNGs is like more like art things.
The original story, along with brand new events.
Like it's very crisp.
World of Sondale. Plus, team up with more characters in battle. And transfer stats to allies through the parameter inheritance system.
Oh, nice. I looks like you could make things really interesting.
Your mettle and might against even more powerful bosses. What histories will you uncover through
Looks really neat. One of these days, I'm gonna play Saga Frontier, and I'll be like, damn, I missed out.
later?
Till then, I'm just like, what?
Monumental adventures await.
Oh, hey, Monumental is actually one of the most interesting phone games. And I know this because I was into a phone game journey for a while back. And I do actually want to play these games.
Stunning landscapes
Because apparently they are really good.
illusions to discover.
So this will be interesting at least.
Secrets to unfold. In Monument
But that means that
the silent
pretty much phone games are like down to like 5 different like entries that are actually like good. And only on the phone.
a different journey awaits.
It's fine, it's just an interesting development.
Grow in her adventure through motherhood as she and her child unlock the secrets of
Motherhood.
sacred geometry. Both games contain all their additional chapters, add-ons, and DLC.
That's really good.
The first two Monument Valley games
I want to get that physically, honestly.
April 15th.
For real.
Begin later today on Nintendo eShop. And help Noor on her journey to restore the world's light.
Is there another monument?
3. Setting sail on Nintendo
Let's go. That's cool. That's cool. Hot Shots Golf? What?
brand new entry in the
Yeah, everybody's golf hot shots.
driving onto Nintendo Switch.
Cool. I'd love to see it. I still have that Birdie Weed game that they came out with, and I haven't played it yet because I heard it was like supposed to be like some sort of weird thing that hits your Nintendo. I feel bad about that, but I love Birdie Wing.
Another special
I wish it was a little bit better at the end, but hey, whatever.
in the single player
It looks really cool. I want to get the one that has Apollo Justice in it.
to become the ultimate golfer.
And like honestly,
In
I don't know if it's the old person in me, but like I feel like appeal towards the golf stuff. It's cool as heck.
It's golf that's not quite par for the course. Up to 4 golfers can hit the fairway together locally. Or
Yeah, this looks neat. This looks neat as heck. I watch a streamer Zenny Sounds, and she like plays golf games sometimes, and I'm just kind of like, she's kind of in her element at that point, and like she's really fun to watch. For real, if you haven't seen her. Demon T? Marvel, okay.
unite some of Marvel's great
This is a multiplayer game, like the, yeah.
from the roster of 15.
That looks cool.
Spectacular
Hey,
Spider-Man and the ferocious Wolverine
that looks
to take on
cool.
from close
I want to play a beat 'em up game with friends.
match of a
I think it'd be fun to do so.
possibilities. And swap between your team of 2 at any time.
Team of 2. Are they not gonna? Is this not like a multiplayer game?
Foes.
Why would you not make this? Okay, that's what to say.
Players can assemble for local or
Yay! Yippee! 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 Yay! 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 Yippee!
The battle for the fate of the Marvel Universe begins when Marvel Cosmic Invasion launches on the Nintendo Switch system this holiday.
Fair, 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 fair.
That
Why is just consistent beggar, 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 beggar?
different superhero.
You can't do this to me, Nintendo. I only have so much money.
Please take a look.
Is this the last one? What are we getting at? Animal Crossing. Can't be, right? No. Tomodachi Life! Let's go! Which one is it? Is it gonna be like another one of this, or? Yeah, this looks like Tomodachi Island. Let's go. That's cool as fuck, dude. I love this little quirky game. There's so many little fun little shits to it. That looks so good. It looks so cutesy. Tomodachi Life. Living the dream. Yeah. Honestly, kind of worth like the last slot if that is the case. That's cool as hell, dude. That's cool as hell. Please, please give me the fun little thing.
Did you want to talk?
Stupid.
That was Tomodachi Life Living the Dream.
Pretty great. Pretty great.
New entry in the series in over 10 years. In the
Yeah, over 10 years, legit.
living on an island out at sea.
It's really cutesy. You more cutesy games like this.
We hope you're looking forward to it.
It looks good. Thank you, Nintendo. I'm eating good.
Thank you for watching today's Nintendo Direct so far.
Oh, it was fantastic. I am full belly bursting.
Something a little different that's not a game.
Oh, not a game.
Mr. Miyamoto to introduce it.
Miyamoto.
Hello, I'm Shigeru Miyamoto. Thank you for watching today's Nintendo Direct.
You're welcome.
Since 2011, Nintendo Direct has
Oh, wow. He just decided to go full gray. He's like, I ain't gonna keep this. Everyone will know.
These presentations have grown into an event that many people watch. Thank you all very much. We'll continue to broadcast Nintendo Direct presentations.
Yippee.
Also launching a new channel based on the concept of delivering information to you directly. This is a smart device app called Nintendo Today,
It's kind of cute.
which functions like a daily calendar. In the app, you can view different Nintendo events. We will
Let's
also
go.
be delivering all sorts of content about Nintendo games.
That
and
looks way too cute.
After the Nintendo Direct for Nintendo Switch 2 on April 2nd, news about Nintendo Switch 2 will be delivered to you daily and directly through the Nintendo Today app as well. Nintendo Today
That's so cute.
on smart devices.
That's so cute. That's cool. That's cool as hell.
You can use the app, so please try it out.
I will download this.
That's
Give me a cute little thing. I'll download it.
Enjoy using Nintendo Today.
That's all for today's Nintendo Direct.
That's fair. Honestly, kind of banger.
Thank you for watching.
Well, that was it. Honestly, one of the best directors out there. Like 100%. I'm not even joking. We got Metroid Prime 4 just kind of like hanging out there, and Tomodachi Life, and a Rhythm Heaven, and like a bunch of other things. Like it's not just that the fact that there's just one really good thing. It's a bunch of little good things. It's good. It's peak. And we have a new AI submitting files game. Peak! I can't express enough. I'm happy about this shit. I'm so happy. Regardless, this will be up later on my channel. And if you are on my channel, like, comment, subscribe if you can. Until next time, thank you for watching. You were lurking on my Twitch and such. I'll see y'all later. Sayonara. Bye-bye.